Good morning, everyone. Here's a live look down Shawnee Mission Parkway, which is very empty this morning. Nothing going on out there. It is very foggy. Aaron is tracking that for us this morning. It is 5:15. In business for restaurants, it's way down after nearly 2 weeks of only serving carry-out or deliveries. KCTV5 Savannah Rudisell is giving us an update on how hard the coronavirus is just hurting the food industry. And Savannah, how are some of these smaller, locally owned places able to even stay in business?
Yeah, Gina, restaurants are trying to get really creative and try to make these adjustments very quickly because every type of business is hurting right now. Like out here in this little corner of Waldo, you can see it's a really good example. You've got a bar that's trying to do curbside pickups for alcohol. A little cafe is doing their best. They don't have their normal people coming in to sit and have their cup of coffee. And of course, buffets like at the Taj Mahal, they have to do 80 to 90% of their business dine in. So of course, they're trying to make their adjustments now. And another way that people will say that they're going to get through is by helping each other. Waldo Thai is offering free meals to either laid off or furloughed food service workers. They passed out nearly 200 lunches yesterday. One of the sponsors says there's just so much uncertainty right now in the industry.
I think everybody's really scared right now and not quite sure what's going to happen. Things are changing so rapidly every day. People aren't sure when they'll be able to go back to work, if they'll be able to go back to work. Our hope is that we can, at least they wouldn't have to worry about what they'll have for lunch today, and hopefully we can take care of them in that way.
Now, this is happening to restaurants across the metro, but not just here in Kansas City. So coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about the bigger picture and how we fit into the nationwide situation with the entire food service industry. Reporting live in Waldo, Savannah Rudisell, KCTV5 News.
Yeah, hopefully people get out in order this weekend. Thanks, Savannah. Struggling to stay afloat through stay-at-home orders. KCTV5 Savannah Rudisell looking into the numbers for us this morning. And Savannah, we know that these food places are taking a hit, but just how much is business down?
Yeah, Gina, every restaurant is struggling, but some even more than most, like buffets, who have to remind people that they're still available for takeout orders. Also, you've got little cafes that don't have people coming in just to sit down and relax with that cup of coffee anymore. And maybe hurt the most right now is bars. You know, take a look at Lou's here in Waldo. They've got a big sign up letting people know that they have a curbside alcohol pickup ready to go. They're just trying to get creative to keep business up. Now, the latest data from Yelp shows that consumer interest in eating out is down 54%. The National Restaurant Association reports about 3 million layoffs for food service workers across the country. And many owners have to adjust their schedules just to even keep a skeleton crew working right now.
We do what we can. It's just enough to pay our people. Even we cut, everybody is not work as a full-time right now, but everybody was have an hour, and we are on the management team, it got a pay cut. So we try to make it happen, so when the whole thing done, so we still can have the restaurant.
That was the owner of Waldo Thai you just heard from. And yesterday, she made enough meals for about 200 hot lunches for any laid off food service workers, chefs, or servers. And coming up just about 6:15, we're going to hear from some of them about their hopes for the next few weeks. Reporting live in Waldo, Savannah Rudisell, KCTV5 News.
Of relying only on takeout and delivery orders, the restaurant business is certainly struggling. KCTV5 Savannah Rudisell checked in with restaurants. She's telling us about the impact on our favorite local spots here in the Kansas City metro. Savannah, some restaurants are doing better than others, but you have to imagine we're about, 2 or 3 weeks into this. They have to be taking a real hit.
Absolutely, Joe. Everything is getting hit pretty hard, but you see that pizza places and shops with drive-thrus are actually doing just a little bit better. But like out here in Waldo, we've got a ton of bars and restaurants, and every single one of them is taking a hit right now. So that's why local owners are trying to help each other out. So Waldo Thai handed out nearly 200 hot lunches for laid off or furloughed food industry workers. Now, I asked the Greater Kansas City Restaurant Association how many people that might be locally, but since things are changing so quickly, that kind of localized data isn't available just yet. But we know that about nationally, there's about 3 million people facing layoffs right now. Workers say that they're really hoping that if everyone follows these stay-at-home orders, then they can get back to business sooner rather than later.
The future's tricky. I hope that we do move forward pretty soon. It all depends on how long this goes. If we bend that curve, like they say, pretty soon here in the next few weeks, maybe in the next week or two, then I think we can bounce back pretty easily. But it'll definitely depends on how long this goes.
Owners say that there are actually a few different ways that customers can help out their favorite local spots, and we'll share some of their advice coming up here in the next half hour. Reporting live in Waldo, Savannah Rudisell, KCTV 5 News.
Thanks. Coronavirus is just really hurting the food industry. KCTV5 Savannah Rudisell spoke to some restaurants about what they need to try and regain a sense of normal. And Savannah, what can we do? I mean, we've all been ordering that takeout, but is it enough to keep these restaurants open?
Well, Gina, industry experts ask that you think about really how often you went out, how much you ordered before the pandemic, and try to at least keep that same level now. I mean, we have a lot of bars and restaurants all around Kansas City, especially here in Waldo, and everybody is hurting. I talked to a Greater Kansas City Restaurant Association. Again, they say they're trying to remind people that they are still open for business. But the Restaurant Association says that here in the next few weeks, there's a pretty strong chance that we could see even more closures. So to help with some sales, some restaurants are now getting on food delivery services like Uber Eats or Grubhub for the first time. So you want to check and see if those are on those kind of services. And local owners say that they have to make a lot of adjustments right now.
Our business has dropped. A lot of people have closed, and we're actually one of the fortunate ones that figured out a way to manage to keep on a limited staff, rotating them in and out, and still be able to do all this and also to keep the restaurant afloat.
So businesses are really pushing gift certificates right now so that you can go ahead and have a sit-down meal when eventually these dining rooms open again. They say an easy way to remember to pick those up is go ahead and buy one while you're already taking on another order. It's kind of like a promise saying we'll be back, like you were saying, and a little bit of a sense of normalcy. Yeah, reporting live from Waldo, Savannah Rudisell.